Good morning, boys and girls. We're going to start a new book this week, and it is called Farfallina and Marcel, and it is written by Holly Keller. I want you to just take a few minutes and look at the picture on the cover and tell me what you think this story might be about. I see a goose. I see a caterpillar. Wonder what's going to happen with them. In this story, there was a caterpillar named Farfallina, whose best friend was a gosling named Marcel. Now, gosling means baby goose. They did everything together until one day, everything started to change. What do you think might have started to change in this story? Do you think that best friends can be best friends forever, no matter what? If you have a best friend, will they be your best friend forever, no matter what happens? What if they change? What if you change? Let's find out what happens to Farfallina and Marcel. The rain fell all morning. It splattered on the pond and splashed on Farfallina's roof. Oh, on her leaf. She found a dry spot on the leaf and ate it. Because that's what caterpillars do. They eat leaves, right? Hey, said a little voice. You're eating my umbrella. Farfallina peered over the edge. A small gray bird was huddled underneath the leaf. So the leaf that Farfallina was eating was also an umbrella for the little gosling. Farfallina liked his soft feathers and his gentle eyes. I'm Farfallina, she said, and she slid down to the ground. My name is Marcel, said the bird. He liked Farfallina's smile and her pretty colors. The rain turned to drizzle and Farfallina wanted to play. I'll hide and you find me, she said. Marcel agreed. Farfallina hid under a fern close to the ground because she knew that Marcel couldn't climb. Now I'll hide, said Marcel when he found her, and he hid right behind the tree because he knew that Farfallina moved slowly. I can take you for a ride on the pond, said Marcel. Farfallina inched her way up to Marcel's back. You tickle, said Marcel, and he slipped into the water. Farfallina giggled. There's so much to see, she said. She had never been out on the pond before. Farfallina and Marcel played together every day. They liked the same games and they liked each other. But one day Farfallina was not herself. I'm not sick, she told Marcel, just a little uncomfortable. I need to climb up onto a branch and rest for a while. I'll wait for you, Marcel called, as Farfallina made her way up the tree. Marcel watched until Farfallina was completely out of sight. Then he settled himself in the grass and waited. Night came, and then the morning, but Farfallina didn't come down. Marcel called to her, but she didn't answer. He was very worried and terribly lonely. Weeks went by. The afternoons grew longer and warmer, and Marcel went to the pond. He was growing, and when he looked at his reflection in the water, he hardly recognized himself. He was changing colors. He was getting bigger. He went back to the tree every day to look for Farfallina, but she was never there, and after a while, he gave up. He missed his best friend. At the top of the tree, Farfallina was snuggled in a blanket of glossy silk. Can you find her? She was growing too. Can you see her up there? What's happening to her? Do you know? Did you guess? The sky was blue and clear the morning she was ready to come out and open her beautiful new wings. What is she turning into? Do you know what a caterpillar turns into after they spin a cocoon? There she is. She had no idea how long she had been up in the tree, and she floated down to find Marcel. "I'll just wait," said Farfallina when she didn't see him, and she sat on a flower. She turned into a butterfly. Did she change? Night came and then morning, but Marcel wasn't there. Farfallina was tired and confused. She fluttered around a bit and went to the pond. The pond was glassy smooth, except for the ripples made by a large, handsome goose who was swimming in solitary circles. Farfallina shivered with disappointment. Did she recognize the goose? It was a grown-up goose now, not a gosling. Does she know who it is? She went to the pond every day to look for the small gray bird named Marcel, but he never came. One morning, the goose stopped his silent rounds and spoke to her. "You must like it here," he said. Farfallina fluttered a bit. "I've been waiting for a friend," she said sadly, "but I don't think he'll come." She didn't recognize Marcel because he had changed also. Marcel liked her smile and her brilliant colors. "I know how you feel," he said. "I lost a friend too. She just vanished into thin air." He doesn't realize that that's Farfallina. Farfallina liked his sleek feathers and his gentle eyes. "A ride around the pond might cheer you up," Marcel said. Farfallina thought it would, and she settled herself on Marcel's back. "It's funny," Marcel said, "but I feel as though I've known you a long time." "I was just thinking the same thing," said Farfallina. "My name is Farfallina. What's yours?" Marcel stopped suddenly. He beat the water with his strong wings, and then he swam round and round and round. "It's me, Farfallina," he shouted. "It's me, Marcel." "Is that really you?" "It is," Farfallina shouted back. They looked at each other and laughed. Neither one of them recognized each other. They had both changed. Do you think they can still be best friends? By evening, they had explained everything, and they fell asleep smiling under the stars. Farfallina and Marcel spent the rest of the summer playing just as they had before. Marcel was careful not to fly too fast because he knew that Farfallina couldn't keep up. Farfallina didn't hide in the flowers because she knew Marcel would never find her there. Look, she would blend right in with those flowers, wouldn't she? And when the leaves on the trees around the pond turned red and gold, they decided to go south. Together. Remember how Mrs. Bennett said, I like to go to Mexico in the winter. I like to go south in the winter where it's warm. Well, geese and butterflies both like to go south in the winter also. They like to go towards Mexico. Can you tell somebody at your house about Farfallina, the caterpillar? Can you describe her when she was a caterpillar? What did she look like? And what are some of the things she did? What is something that Marcel, what is something that Farfallina likes about Marcel at the beginning of the book? What are some of the things that she likes about him? And what does Marcel like about Farfallina? What makes them become best friends? What are some things they like to do together? Are they some of the same things that you like to do with your friends? Boys and girls, after this video is over, I have another video that I want you to watch, and it's called One Small Step. And when I start that video for you, these are the things that I want you to do. I want you to think about the character and the actions that the character has. And I want you to use their actions to describe them. So after this video, click on the next video, and it won't be me reading that story. It will be somebody else. But then I'll come back on and we'll talk about the character's actions in that story. See you soon.